Is evolution a religion? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Number one, its followers believe that it can violate the first and second laws of thermodynamics.
The first and second laws of thermodynamics? Well, I'm familiar with, as I'm sure we all are by now, the staple creationist lie about evolution violating the second law. That being a closed system moving towards increased entropy, or as creationists like to word it, disorder, over time. The Earth is of course not a closed system. We receive energy from an outside source, i.e. the Sun. The Earth also has a flow of matter, both being received and lost daily in the form of meteorites hitting the Earth, and the fact that some of our atmospheric gases are lost to space. Not to mention the man-made satellites and other technological detritus we have sent into space. These facts show that the Earth is about as much as a closed system as a colander. This is in stark contrast to the typical closed system of a creationist mind. In this way, the second law of thermodynamics can be used, in creationist terms of course, to explain the high levels of disorder observed within. As for the first law, I'm at a loss as to how evolution is in any conflict with the statement that the change in the internal energy of a closed thermodynamic system is equal to the sum of the amount of energy supplied to or removed from the system, and work done on or by the system.
They give godlike properties to time, space, and matter, and give them the ability to create the universe and life itself.
That is right. Evolution bestows godlike properties to space, time, and matter. So tell me, Eric, which of these answers prayers? Does time judge our sex lives? Does space command us to deprive others of rights and respect? Did matter die for our sins? As for the creation of the universe, well, time, space, and matter all assumed what are to us their recognizable forms at the beginning of this universe. If it is indeed possible to go to a point prior to the inception of our universe, matter, space, and time may not have existed at all, and if any of them did, time for example, it is possible that it possessed a different form to that we now know. The fact is that it is yet unknown what brought the universe into existence. Also, by giving time, space, and matter the ability to create life, science has used laws such as those in thermodynamics. It is notable how quickly you can do 180 and go from holding natural laws up as proof positive evolution couldn't have happened, to dismissing those said same laws in application to abiogenesis.
Number two, it calls for faith in scores of things that have never been observed. Things like life coming from non-life, matter creating itself, and animals producing different kinds of animals.
Science as a whole requires no faith in the unobserved. Science is, in simplistic terms, the most successful method ever developed for the collection and interpretation of facts. If science ever meets a point where the subject matter cannot be directly observed, then it draws explanations and conclusions based on indirect observations, i.e. evidence. Let me break this concept down for you, Eric. Would you run into this building? I doubt it. As the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. This is the same principle behind indirect observation in a scientific context. As for life coming from non-life, consider this. Supposing you had a suitably fine pair of tweezers, and the patience and desire to do so, you could pick apart your body an atom at a time. After the exercise was complete, if you could observe the result, all you would see is a pile of very fine dust. None of what you would see is alive, but all of it had once made up you. Some carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur, dashes of some metals, zinc, iron, calcium, etc. That is all there is. None of these elements are alive. They never were. Yet all of them once made up you. So, Eric, what is the problem exactly with life coming from non-life? Regarding matter creating itself, here is a useful little equation that destroys this straw man. E equals mc squared. Matter is a condensed form of energy, or in language that you might understand, Eric, energy begat matter. If you have a problem with this, Eric, then we can show you the reverse process. Animals producing different kinds of animals. I don't even see fit to say anything beyond what has already been said before. Google observed instances of speciation.
Members that are no longer in good standing are always excommunicated. If you don't believe in the theory anymore, you are excommunicated. And it's only the members that are in good standing that are worthy of any kind of judgment.
Excommunication as a term used for the banishment of an individual from a church or religious group does not apply to the scientific community, as it is not a religious community. Anyone is free to question any scientific theory they choose. But to do so and remain a scientist, you must base your conclusions on evidence. A scientist may question the theory of evolution, but on examining all the available evidence relevant to their question, they must draw their conclusions in line to what the evidence suggests. Any scientists who cannot back up a controversial position with evidence and accept it if their hypothesis is disproved will be shunned by the scientific community.
It also attempts to provide the basic answers to life, answers to those questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? And where am I going to go when I die?
Evolution says nothing about personal identity beyond your genetic heritage. Evolution says nothing about why you are here. It talks about how adaptations have led to your personal lineage, traversing the billions of years since life began. The question of why is redundant. Evolution says nothing about the physical process of death. Evolution tells you how you got here, how each of your ancestors successfully reproduced, and in spite of incalculable odds, has produced you.
And it deifies nature itself. Is evolution a religion? Yes, it is.
The following is a list of what makes a religion, according to Eric Hovind. A religion must violate physical laws in some manner, have a faith in the unobserved, have some facility to excommunicate or socially shun non-believers of said religion. Only members of the group in good standing with the religious authorities are given the right to pass judgment on others. Must attempt to answer the basic questions of life, but it is not required to succeed, and it must possess some form of deity. If you apply these criteria to the actions, beliefs, and intentions of the creationist movement, including those of the CSE, you can clearly see why repeatedly creationism has been ruled to be a religious doctrine, not science, time and time again.